The QJO initiative exists to inspire action by highlighting the stories of the tired, the bruised, and the bloody in pursuit of their life's purpose. We will participate in recreation with intention to reveal the highs and lows that accompany each person on the journey to success. We are SGOC Media, and this is the Quit Jerking Off Initiative. So thanks for coming, Lindsey. Sincerely appreciate it. I know you guys came a long ways, come out here, hang out with us, and I hope it lived up to whatever expectation it was. I don't know if you had one.
Well, thank you so much for having us, for one. We were so excited to come out. I had zero expectation other than I knew I was going to shoot some really cool guns, and I've only gone shooting like twice, so this was my third time, but it's like blown me out of the water. It's been amazing.
I was watching, I was standing back and I'm looking at the line of fire. I'm like, there's all these dudes and Lindsey. Did that feel overwhelming at all?
No.
That's cool.
No, it didn't. No, I think it's because I've gone with Dave a couple times, so he kind of helped me out a little bit. I was just kind of going with the flow. I was trying, so.
What would you say you want the world to know about you? Like, who are you?
Just me as a person?
Yeah.
I would say I'm a goof. When you get to know me, I'm kind of a little reserved. But when you get to know me, I'm a goofball. I'm lighthearted. I don't like to take things too seriously. But at the same time, I'm also a very driven and motivated person. So I'm all about like growth. I think life's all about growth and trying to better yourself and not staying complacent. And so like this is the perfect example. Like today what we did, going out shooting, this was something that pushed my limits. Like I've never done anything like this
outside
before.
of your comfort zone.
Yeah, it was so cool. Like this is what life's all about. You know, these kind of adventures and meeting people and doing fun things like this. Like so.
And accelerated quickly with it. It's like even the guys that were, we got Marine Scout snipers out there, and they're saying,
crazy.
She's doing really good. I mean, it's like I went and I got the binos, I looked at your first target, I'm like,
thank you. You're
damn,
making me feel
she's doing, no, but they did say that.
Oh, that was
so,
amazing.
and that's one of the highlights for guys like that, for them to be able to offer something, for it to be absorbed, and then translate it out into action. Talk to me a little bit about your role in the Lenn Foundation, where that came from. What was the emphasis for you to step into? I mean, we really I dig more in that because what I understand where it came from, me personally, and I know that our audience doesn't. But then what you did, and you stepped into that, to me that is worth discussing.
Okay, well, thank you. So with the Lenn Foundation, so the reason the whole foundation started, so my nephew, he's got cerebral palsy, so he just turned 5 October 1st. But back when, he was in the NICU for about 7 months. But before, while he was in the NICU, after he was born, there was this period of time, so my family owned a gelato shop. So, so my sister and I, we would work nights and days and help out with the shop. And what was great about it is we both had flexibility with our kids. So my son was 1 at the time, and then Lenny had just been born, and then he was in the NICU. So we had the flexibility where we'd be, home with the kids during the day. She'd be actually at the NICU, and then we would work nights. And so there was this period during this time, it was during winter, and I was just driving home. I closed the shop one night, I'm driving home, it was dark, and then just all of a sudden there was all these struggles that my sister and her husband were going through with Lenny, just him being in the NICU with insurance bills, and I think he was in there for about maybe 4 months, and thank God insurance was covering things, but they had a high deductible, so they had to pay, a good amount there. But his bill was at I mean, like it was like 1.2 million, I think, after several months being in the NICU. Now, granted, they didn't have to pay that, but that's what the cost went to. But you think of people that maybe don't have wonderful insurance, and it's not like their insurance was great, but it was enough to cover things, you know. But that, I mean, that's just how much everything costs within 4 months. So they had these costs and these medical bills, and I was just driving home one night, and I'm just like, this is just horrible. I've seen what they were going through, and it just hit me one. I was just driving the car. I think it was like a little like just gift from somewhere. Just, it's not me. I think there was something just put in my brain, and I'm the messenger. It was just poof, and it's just the Lenn Foundation. And then Lenn, I just thought loving every NICU newborn. So I was thinking more along those lines, and that it just popped in my mind, and it was just out of nowhere. So I just remember the next day, I was like, Lish, the Lenn Foundation, what if we started a foundation, we could help people go through what you and Justin are going through, you know, because there's got to be so many people out there struggling with bills, and we had no clue about Lenny having cerebral palsy, because usually don't get diagnosed with that until about 18 months. So you're about, you know, a year and a half at that point. But they knew things weren't right, and they had found some things, you know, a spot on his brain, you know, during that time he was in the NICU in 7 months. So, and you know, that's personal, and it's something you're going through. And when it comes to financials, that's always very personal. Like, do I want to air that out for everybody to know? And, you know, I told Alicia the next day after I thought of it, and she goes, she didn't even hesitate. Yes, we need to do this. Like, Lindsey, absolutely. She didn't even hesitate. So that's kind of what kickstarted us. So that was in 2017 when he was like, you know, going through everything. And then it was in October that we filed the paperwork, and then we did it the right way, met with an attorney, and 2018 was basically waiting for our 501c3 status and going through all that. But that was the fire, that's what ignited me, I thought of it was because of the struggles they were going through financially.
You have this moment, and you come to this realization, like, this is kind of something that's purpose-driven.
Right.
What did you give up to get there?
Well, for one time, Alicia and I just had a passion for what we felt this calling to do the Lenn Foundation because of Lenny and all these other families, and we were just like, what can we do to help? And we just had this calling, this passion, so it was time.
We're all on the struggle bus when we're getting started with things, right?
So, and
Things,
we're still,
even, even things that are purpose-driven, right?
Right.
So what's that like right now?
It's still a struggle bus. I'm not gonna lie. So, I mean, 2019 was like our best year that we had. And then
What made it the best year?
best year, so we got involved with Collective Genius.
Okay.
And then we met a lot of contacts through that. So there was people doing fundraising for us, and we did a couple fundraisers. So it was this beautiful thing that was just kind of growing in 2019, and it just things were happening. And then people were hearing about us. We were helping families, and then more families were hearing, oh, the Lenn Foundation, they help, you know. And so then we were getting a lot of. So what's happening right now? We are getting applications. So we have this laundry list of people that need help. So the blessing is people know we're here and we can help them, and we're getting applications, and those are rolling in. They've kind of tapered off a little bit because we've let them know we're rebuilding right now. So COVID hit us hard. So we've lost a couple big donors that we had monthly because they got hit hard too. So it was a trickle effect with everybody, right? And what we do with the Lenn Foundation is 99% of the applications we receive are kids that need help with intensive therapy. And basically what that is, it's physical therapy, but it's intense. So they go to these programs where it could be a week where it's intense therapy for maybe several hours a day, and they just hammer out movements and movements and movements, where with cerebral palsy, it's brain damage. So some kids, it's this gray umbrella. Some kids might have just like a little issue with maybe they can't move like their hand very well, or maybe the right side of their body is affected, or maybe they just have a little limp when they walk, or maybe they're completely in a wheelchair and they need assistance with eating and everything else. What happens with these intensives is they're training these kids, especially at a young age, when they hit maybe 2 to 5, like this, there's a sweet spot when they're growing and developing, and then you get into these intensives. Kids literally we had a girl that we helped out in Michigan, her name's Briella. She was 4 years old, and she did a week intensive at Smile Therapy up in Canada, Ontario, Canada. She was 4. And AFOs are just braces you have on your legs. And she's never been able to walk independently without her, like on her own. She did 1 week of an intensive. By day, it was 2 or 3, she took her first independent steps in 4 years.
Oh.
By day 2 or 3, just with her AFOs on. And that was because of an intensive. That was because people donated to us. We paid for their entire intensive, for the entire week, their stay, their gas, everything was covered. And she was able, and the mom, we interviewed her, and it's actually on our YouTube, the interview with her mom, and she took her first steps by day 2 or 3.
How can we help?
You know, I mean, obviously donations are what makes a nonprofit work. And, you know, that's what we need, is just anybody's help that's willing to, if it speaks to them and it touches their heart, we would, you know, love your help to help these kids, because we have a ton of applications and a ton of kids that need help.
You built it to a successful point that people know you're out there and they're applying for the funds that they need to, you know,
Right.
fulfill what you're looking to do, but now the lack of funds to give.
Exactly.
So, I mean, you know, much like many businesses we're hearing about where, you know, they don't have the capacity to handle what's happening right now to them. You guys are experiencing the same thing. So the best we can possibly do is continue to drive at least the word out there that you guys exist.
Spreading awareness, yeah.
So the most important thing is, how do they get a hold of you? Like, what's the website? What's the YouTube
Sure.
channel?
Yeah, absolutely.
How do we make sure that we drive some recognition?
Thank you. So our website, it's just thelennfoundation.org. So
Right here.
www.thelenn, and Lenn is Lenn. So foundation.org. So just going there, and everything's on our website. It's very easy. You can everything, you know, you can donate there.
Push the donate button.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how much it is, just a couple bucks, even if that's what it is. Every single cent is going to go somewhere that's better than your latte. Positive.
Thank you for giving us the opportunity to get on here to, you know, spread awareness. And my sister couldn't be here, and she really wanted to be here. She had a little injury with her leg, so
We heard about that, and
Yeah, but
we're
she
going to get
would.
Alicia out here again. She's going to have
yeah.
to.
So
get
she's
off-
here in spirit right now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get
Cool.
back on her feet.
Yeah.
Get out here. We're going to be slinging guns again, or something. Maybe next time we'll get you guys out here to do some rock crawling.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Thank you so
Very cool.
much.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks
for sure.
again.